New Zealand, the country that the world keeps actively forgetting, or just erasing off the maps completely. This isn't just a video, it's an international intervention, because the world either thinks we're a fictional location from a Peter Jackson movie, or Australia's awkward cousin, none of which are remotely true, or maybe just a little bit. So throw on your swan dry, buckle up, and let's take a look at what the world really thinks of New Zealand. Alright, so let's start off our list with the worst things that the world has said about us, and by worst I mean hilariously inaccurate, weirdly aggressive, or just downright wrong.
Basically what I'm saying is the Greens Party and all the hippies everywhere need to f*** off and be stupid in private.
The Kiwi bird looks less like a bird and more like a dumb fat mouse who got his face stuck on a straw. You are nothing. Look at me. You are nothing.
Now, I love a good roast. Chicken, beef, or lamb. It's all delicious to me. But we're not talking about your classic Sunday roasting routine. This episode is all about the insults, the gentle jabs, and the backhanded compliments. Let's start our worldwide walk of shame with the United States of A.
Home of the whopper, capitalism, guns, muscle cars, Budweising, beer-toting, freedom, baby. All the freedom in the world. And 128-ounce colas, 'cause why the fuck not? And Costco, and Gibson guitars, and General Motors, and diabetes, and obesity, baby.
Now, Donald Trump, he may talk like a malfunctioning AI chatbot chucked in a blender of racist slurs of insanity and man-child impulses, but what does he really think of New Zealand? Well, in 2025, Dazza claimed that the mighty US were the first to split the atom. In a speech, which surprised nobody but himself, Don remarked,
Nobody splits atoms like us. I was the first to split the atom. I split atoms all the time. Tremendous splitting. All the atoms have been split by Americans. Nobody else. We are the smartest. We split all the atoms. All the little atoms. All the big atoms. All the atoms all the time.
Well, surprisingly, Kiwis gasped. That was Ernest Rutherford. He's literally on our money. Nelson's mayor even invited the US ambassador over to visit the Ernest Rutherford statue, just to prove it. And in another classic mishap, during a call with the then Prime Minister Bill English, Trump reportedly said,
New Zealand is the greatest country in the world. Tremendous respect. I went to New Zealand. I went to Auckland one time. Tremendous people. Or was it Australia? Anyway, Australia is fake New Zealand.
On the same phone call, Trump reportedly commented on the New Zealand geography.
You have water everywhere, all around your country. Oh, it's really wonderful. The ships go in the water. They go whatever they do, they float. They float like ducks in a bath.
Oh man, I just want to live inside this guy's brain for one day. I just want to walk around and find out if it's all just cheeseburgers and coke flashbacks of Jeffrey Epstein. Meanwhile, across the ditch, New Zealand and Australia have always shared some friendly rivalry.
Oh, I'm not really a big fan of them. Like, they don't really like us Australians.
Who ever heard of an aspirational New Zealander, you know?
Well, they're the little brother, so they're smaller in everything, in every single way.
It's just too far away, and it's not Australian. I just think it's an island. I just think it's another Tasmania.
The rest of the world confuses us all the time. In 2021, Australia's Home Affairs Minister Peter Dutton referred to deporting New Zealanders from Australia as taking out the trash. Whoa, slow down there, Pete. I'd like to think of it as recycling for a better tomorrow, thank you. And former Australia PM John Howard once joked that New Zealand was the 51st state of America, only colder and less interesting. And on another occasion he said, New Zealand's a country you'd only visit if you got lost while trying to get to Australia. Oof! That's a big call there, John boy. Australians love New Zealand. As a punchline. So let's check in on our colonial brothers and sisters across the pond in the land of the crown, crumpets, castles, and actresses with no self-respect.
Kiwi accent, but that's really easy. All you do is you take all the vowels and just move them one along.
Remove the O, take a word. Pen, push it one along. Pin, take another word. Fish, frosh.
Now, some British MPs have said things like, New Zealanders still think they're British. But really, They're the cousin that no one invites to the party. Pfft, like you'd know how to party. You've bloody warm beers. Old Margaret Thatcher reportedly once called New Zealand pleasant, but a little too quaint for modern politics. Yeah, nice jab there, Marjorie. Well played. So the Brits sometimes mock New Zealand for being like a time capsule of 1950s Britain. Quaint, slow-paced, overly polite, and a bit behind in the times. I'm not sure if that's an insult, but then again, I'm still using candles for lighting. Alright, so our neighbours had their fun. Now let's see what the average American has to say about New Zealand. Let's check in on a Reddit post where logic goes to die and New Zealand becomes the butt of some truly spectacular misunderstandings.
So, what's the difference between a limousine and a sheep? Not all Kiwis have been in a limousine.
Why do New Zealand horses run so fast? Because they've seen what happens to sheep.
New Zealand. It's the only country whose tough criminal underbelly includes grandmothers who knit wool jumpers. New Zealand. You are the whales of the southern hemisphere.
That's a good one.
New Zealand actually invented the first condom out of a sheep's bladder. Australians then revolutionised this and took the bladder out of the sheep. Do you know why they call it the land of the long white cloud? Because even God covers up his mistakes.
New Zealand. A country so uninteresting that you had to get Peter Jackson to make tourism ads for you.
That's a good one.
New Zealand. I prefer Old Zealand.
New Zealand. Your greatest import and export is one.
Boy, isn't she that singer? That's a flashback.
New Zealand is to Australia what Billy Baldwin is to Alec Baldwin.
That's a good one. I like that.
I heard that you can walk across the whole country in a day.
Well, only if you're Frodo, Alan, full of lembas bread or deeply motivated by Longbottom leaf.
Do you guys have electricity there?
No. Well, we've only just upgraded from fire and witchcraft.
New Zealand. You may be pretty, but your internet is slower than a quadriplegic tortoise.
Alright, I'll like some of those. Well played, well played. I'm happily offended by those humble roasts of my homeland. New Zealand is quite often the punchline to the world's worst jokes, but deep down, I know, you're just jealous. Alright, so I'm happily offended by those wholesome roasts of our homeland. And if you like them too, why don't you show this channel a bit of love by giving me a like down here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Cheers for watching, share this around, and I'll see you in the next one, eh?
I think New Zealand's a lovely place.
I've seen photos and it looks really beautiful. It's got pretty scenery, nice people.
Sheep are pretty cute.
The people are really nice.
Well, I think the people.
It's a real beautiful country. Nice people, I suppose.
Look, love you guys, love your attitude, love your work. Keep doing you.
I think it's a fantastic country.
To round this all out, we like New Zealand. Don't change your flag. It's awesome. We've never been, but we will go one day.